Good afternoon, everyone. This is Tom Rucci. I'll be your live stream host today for the final session. This is the 2023 MRC Championships live from Austin, Minnesota at the Austin, Minnesota Municipal Pool. This weekend's meet welcomes teams from Barracuda Aquatics, Black Dog Swimming, Black Line Aquatics, Edina Swim Club, Northfield Swim Club, Red Wing Swim Club, the Tiger Sharks, Winona Swim Club, and co-hosting today's event is Atlantis Swim Federation and Riptide Swimming. The weekend officials are Pat Thompson, our meet referee, Bill Steffen, our meet starter, and Bobby Deeb, our meet administrator. Once again, we want to thank all of our officials, coaches, and volunteers that have helped make this such a great event. We also want to thank Steve Patty, who is our on-deck referee. And, folks, we'll begin here in just a few minutes here, probably about, 1:15 or so. That's probably about 12 minutes or so away. In the meantime, get ready for some exciting swimming. We're so glad you could be here today. Give us a like there. If you like these live streams, you want to see them keep coming. It sends a message to the swim teams that we absolutely want to have more of these live stream events. Once again, this is Tom Rucci. I'll be your live stream host for the day. So hang tight. We'll be right with you. All right, folks, once again, this is Tom Rucci. I'll be your live stream host for the day. I'm going to be joined by my in-pool co-host, Jeremy Bell. He'll be doing all of the in-pool announcing and joining us periodically online. We're all excited here to get this event started for the day. This will be our final session of the 2023 Minnesota Regional Championships. Once again, these are hosted by Riptide Swimming and the... Oh, excuse me. We got a little wind coming up. I don't want to lose everything here. The Atlanta Swim Federation and Riptide Swimming are co-hosting this event this weekend. If our equipment blows in the pool, it'll be a very short broadcast, folks. So if you know what that'll be like, it'll just be very short. All right, so we'll get started here in just a little bit. We're going to start the session off with event 115, rather. 115 will be our 200-meter freestyle relay, and we'll have 8 lanes of swimming for that. After all of the relays, we will have, let's see here, we'll move into the 50-meter freestyle. So there'll be a short break between the relays and the 50-meter freestyle while the timers move down to the other end of the pool to get set up. So we'll have a chance here to have a little conversation with my co-host, Jeremy Bell. So sit back, get ready for some exciting swimming. Once again, this is Tom Rucci. I'll be your live stream host, and we'll be with you in just a few minutes. I'm going to leave you with some sights and sounds of the pool.
Okay. Yeah. I've been saying those names so bad all weekend. Anything of that descent. So you said Chosang? Yeah. Chosang. Okay. And make a note of that. Oh. And where is it? Let me find it. This one. What's Xereyna? That's Serena. That there is. That's Serena? That's Serena. Okay, I understand that. Serena de Sosa Larson. Oh, yeah, I'm going to screw that one up. Someone laughed at me because I had one that I was like, yeah, we have Gracie. Late 7. I didn't know how to. And Mary's like, that was hilarious. Like, Smug Pug was like, Gracie in late 7. Ryan was running around.
All right, folks, this is Tom Rucci. I'm your live stream host again for today. We have our first shout-out. I cannot display it on the screen. We had a technical difficulty being able to do that like we had done in the past days. However, we have a comment here from Anna. Go Blackline. Thank you so much. Also, if you like these streams, you want to see them keep coming, go ahead and press the like button. I know there's 28 of you out there currently watching, and I only see one like. Unless your hands are broken, we would really appreciate it if you could click that like button. It does send a message out to the swim teams here that you want to continue to see these live streams at these events. By the way, if your hands are broken, we sympathize with that. Go ahead and click the like button with your elbow. And timers are getting set here. We should, let's take a look at them here. There's the timers. It's a good looking group. Nice volunteers. Thanks so much to them. We'll begin here shortly. And some more sights and sounds from the pool for you. So, folks, we'll be speaking with Jeremy here in between some of the events, and he'll have some stats for us. First up is Event 115. This is girls 13 to 14, 200-meter freestyle relay. This is heat 1 of 1. And lane number 1 for Northfield Swim Club, Hollis Holden, L. Otting, Elizabeth Matsura, May Bowers. Lane number 2, Edina Swim Club, Eleanor Modi, Zarina D'Souza Larson, Sasha Stokes, and Phoebe Figgenshaw. Lane number 3 for Blackline is Kaylee Von Ruden, Maddie Mullen, Malaya Chartier, and Sophia Studnicka. Lane number 4 for Edina, Rachel Betts, Tenzin Chosang, Adele Stark, and Gwyneth McLaughlin. Lane number 5, Riptide Swimming, Madeline Jenin, Vivian Lenson, Chandler Offerman, and Ruby Call. Lane number 6 for Riptide, Isabel Rosenberg, Maddie Wenzel, Emily Samsel, and Lainey Bell. Lane number 7 for Riptide, Kate Lebo, Ilona Delaney, Samantha Graves, and Avery Jelinek. And in lane number 8 for Riptide, Greta Reichert, Jessica Bach, Allie Peterson, and Hannah Stuckey.
Thank you so much.
Here they come back here. It looks like it's a very close match between lanes 4 and 5. Lane 4 is Edina. Lane 5 is Riptide. Let's watch as they bring it home. There it is. Touching first was Edina in lane number 4, followed by Riptide, lane number 5. And lane number 3 was Blackline. Next up is event 116. This is boys 13 to 14, 200-meter freestyle relay. This is heat 1 of 1. Into the water they go. In lane number 3 for Blackline Aquatics is Alex Frenshu, Ben Jones, William Benish, and Ethan Jens. In lane number 4 is Edina Swim Club. That's Kai Mehta, August Wolf, Josh Peters, and Dylan Fleming. Lane number 5 for Riptide Swimming is Mackenzie Schroeder, Aiden Fitch, Gavin Yang, and Wes Knapp. And in lane number 6 for Riptide is Liam Grange, Joey Kunze, Evan Binkley, and Carson Osendorf. So I was just shared some interesting facts about this weekend's events. We've had 53 swimmers with new champ times in over 80-plus events. Great news for them. Great news for us. Also, we've seen improved seed times in 274 athletes in over 1,000-plus events. So congratulations, everybody. And we'll try to keep these kind of stats coming to you as we get them. Looks like lane 5 might be leading the pack by about a body length here. Lane 5 is the Riptide swim team. We'll have to watch as they come back here to the finish. Yep, lane 5 is Riptide. They will finish first, followed by lane number 3. Here's the results for you. Next up is event 117. This is girls 200-meter freestyle relay. This is heat 1 of 2. In lane 3 with Winona Swim Club is Harper Woolner, Henley Jacobs, Piper Jones, and Abby Williams. In lane 4 for Blackline Aquatics, there's Molly Ditzler, Haley Korn, Madison Rutherford, and Morgan Peterson. In lane 5 with Riptide Swimming is Caitlin Mello, Katie Rucci, Isabel Scrafford, and Emma Leonard. Pretty tight race here between lanes 4 and 5. That's Edina and Riptide. Sorry, folks. It is a really tight race between lanes 4 and 5, but it's Blackline Aquatics in lane 4 and Riptide in lane 5. Riptide has taken the lead by over a body length at this point. In lane number 5, as they come back to the finish line, we'll get a close-up view here. It's going to be a fight. There it is. Touching first is lane number 5, followed by lane number 3. Here's the results here for you. Next up is heat number 2. This will be our final heat of event 117. And again, this is girls senior 200-meter freestyle relay. In lane 1, Edina Swim Club, Audrey Tate, Harriet White, Lauren Locke, Taylor Thompson. In lane number 2, Riptide, Annika Arlinson, Ferris Gotti, Olivia Howie, and Amy Birmingham. In lane number 3 for Blackline Aquatics is Mia Francois, Eden Hill, Mallory Wicks, and Julia Pearson. In lane number 4 for Riptide is Madeline Byrne, Isla George, Leah Cayley, and Megan Wall. In lane number 5 for Edina Swim Club is Tilly Katz, Ella Stark, Effie Fensmayer, and Allie Hahn. In lane number 6 for Northfield is Maria Hegland, Olivia Cortuum, Ashley Miranda Limon, and Nora Cortuum. In lane number 7 for Blackline Aquatics is Abigail 2, Abby Beckman, Ava Appleton, and Madeline Elpert. All right, lane number 4 is in the lead. Lane number 4 is Riptide. That's Megan Wall in the water right now as she makes her way back here to the finish. She will touch first. And here's our live results. Next up is event 118. This is boys 200-meter freestyle relay. This is heat 1 of 1. In lane number 1 for Blackline Aquatics, Tyler Guinan, Roman Perry, Brad Simpson, and Lucas Jens. In lane number 3 for Edina Swim Club is Finn Berry, Zach Uchani, Griffin McIntosh, and Reed McAllister. In lane 4 for Riptide is Gabe Lenson, Parker Eric, Tristan Herbst, and Aiden Smith. In lane 5 for Blackline Aquatics is Spencer Rudd, Dana Dow, William Nyen, and Ruslan Bayak. In lane number 6 for Northfield is Jake Peterson, Logan Krapika, Oliver Momberg, and Will Udelhofen. Lane number 4, Riptide Swimming, is leading as they're coming on back here to the finish. Here we go. Touching first is Aiden Smith with the Riptide Swim team. Here's the results for that. The wind is picking up again here. So, folks, we'll be taking about a 5-minute break because at this point we're going to switch to the 50-meter competitions here. So our timing staff has to move to the other end of the pool. We have to allow enough time for everyone to get set up down there. And they are making their way now. So we're going to guess it'll be approximately, I don't know, 3 to 5 minutes before we start the next event. So we'll see you in just a few moments. Folks, while we're waiting, let's go through those shout-outs that are coming into the channel at this time. I got one from Ronnie Dufresne. I believe she's in Ely, Minnesota, way up north there. And she's saying that, hey, she clicked the like button. And she's setting a great example for the rest of you. If you want to continue to see these events, please go ahead and click that like button so we can share it with the other swim teams so they continue to allow us to bring these things to you. Have a few other shout-outs here. And I have a question here from Rick Momberg if there will be a camera at the opposite end of the pool for the 50s. And unfortunately, they will not allow us to add any more cameras or any more views here at this time. What I may try to do, though, is have some folks move stuff out of the way, and we'll turn our starting block camera away from the starting block and put that downstream. How does that sound? Also have some other shout-outs here. Go Brad from Anna. And nice relays, Black Line. Let's work on those other camera views. Give me just a second. I'm going to turn off the be right back message. We will be right back, though, folks. And what we're going to do is we're going to change our view. So give me just a second. How's this for a little bit of cam work on the fly? Can't do much more than that. Hopefully, will that do it for you? Give me a thumbs up at home, folks. Give me a message and let me know if you like that view. That will be the finishing view. So, Rick, what do you think? Will that do it? So this will be our starting view right here. And then I'll immediately have to switch to this view. And that's all I'm going to have for the moment. Let me see what I can do about a third camera view. I'm not positive that'll work, but we're going to give it a shot. We're going to do everything here today, folks. There you go. We got a little bit of everything now. How about that? All right, so this is our starting block view. We're going to go with this to start things. Now, that alone, I think, deserves everyone to click the like button and make a positive comment. We'll get started here in just a minute. The swimmers are up on the starting area, ready to get on the blocks. Our timers, as you saw, are set down at the other end of the pool. Here we go. There it is. Event number 119. This is girls 13 to 14, 50-meter freestyle. This will be heat 1 of 5. In lane number 2 is May Bowers with Northfield. Lane 3 is Piper Jones with Winona. Lane 4, Anna Hagenson unattached. Lane 5, Olivia Fisher unattached. There's our view there. I've got to finish this up here. Sorry. Lane number 6 is Abby Christman with Riptide. Lane 7, Elizabeth Matsura with Northfield. Folks, we will have a different camera view in just a moment here. Next up is heat number 2 of event 119. All right, there they go into the water. All right, lane number 1, Elle Otting with Northfield. Lane 2, Sasha Stokesy, Dinah. Lane number 3 is Allie Peterson, Riptide. Lane 4, Ilona Delaney, Riptide. Lane 5, Jessica Bach, Riptide. Lane 6, Emily Samsel, Riptide. Lane 7, Phoebe Figgenshaw, Edina. Lane 8, Cecilia Kinney, Riptide. Next up, it'll be heat number 3. Swimmers are up on the blocks. In lane number 1, Zarina De Sousa Larson. Lane 2, Kate Lebo with Riptide. By the way, Zarina's with Edina. In lane number 3 is Lucy Werdick with Riptide. Lane number 4, Thea Caswell with Edina. Lane 5, Maddie Wetzel with Riptide. Lane 6, Lainey Bell with Riptide. Lane 7, Natalie George Blackline. Lane number 8, Mackenzie Michalek with the Tiger Sharks. I apologize for the blurriness of the camera. That is the best it'll get, by the way. Next up is heat number 4. This will be heat 4 of 5. Into the water they go. And lane number 1 is Hollis Holden with Northfield. Lane number 2, Maddie Mullen, Blackline. Lane number 3 is Vivian Lenson, Riptide. Lane number 4, Eleanor Modi, Edina. Lane number 5, Adele Stark, Edina. Lane number 6, Ruby Call with Riptide. Lane number 7, Sophia Stanica with Blackline. Lane number 8 is Isabel Rosenberg with Riptide. All right, next up is our final heat of this event, heat number 5. I appreciate the comments, folks. You get what you get with the camera work when it's done on the fly. In lane 1, Lily Wilkinson with the Tiger Sharks. Lane 2, Abby Boyson unattached. Lane 3, Kaylee Von Ruden with Blackline. Lane number 4 is Gwyneth McLaughlin with Edina. Lane number 5, Madeline Jenin with Riptide. Lane number 6 is Rachel Betts, Edina. Lane number 7, Greta Cortuum with Northfield. And lane number 8 is Tenzin Chosing with Edina. All right, next up is Event 120. This is boys 13 to 14, 50-meter freestyle. This is heat 1 of 3. All right, let me know in the comments if you'd rather just have the wide shot here. In lane number 1, Hunter Peters unattached. Lane 2, Nolan Luther for Riptide in lane number 2. Lane number 3 is Owen Smith with Edina. Lane number 4 is Jack Fritz with Blackline. Lane number 5, Arthur Eddy with Black Dog. Lane number 6, Logan Krapika with Northfield. Lane number 7, Aditya Adiga with Edina. And lane number 8 is Pearson Crick with Riptide. Next up is heat number 2 of event 120. This is boys 13 to 14 50-meter freestyle. It's our second heat. Swimmers are getting set. Into the water they go. Lane number 1, Evan Binkley with Riptide. Lane number 2, Joey Coonsey with Riptide. Lane number 3 is William Benish, Blackline. Lane number 4, August Wolf, Edina. Lane number 5, Liam Grange, Riptide. Lane number 6, Owen Reese with Black Dog. Lane number 7, Ethan Jens with Blackline Aquatics. Lane number 8 is Carson Osendorf with Riptide. All right, now comes our third and final heat of event 120. In lane 1, Gavin Yang with Riptide. Lane number 2, Andrew Lippert with Edina. Lane number 3, Mackenzie Schroeder, Riptide. Lane 4, Dylan Fleming, Edina. Lane number 5, Alex Frenshu with Blackline. Lane number 6, Aiden Fitch, Riptide. Lane number 7, Josh Peters, Edina. And lane number 8, Ben Jones, Blackline Aquatics. Next up is event 121. This is girls 15 and over 50-meter freestyle. This is heat number 1 of 6. In lane number 3 is Madison Rutherford with Blackline. Lane number 4, Kira Lovett with Red Wing. Lane number 5 is Kenley Jacobs with Winona. Folks, I'm going to give you another view here. Let me know if you like this view better. Really hard for me to switch between all of them. I got a lot of technology going. If you like this better than that zoomed-in view, let me know. Send me a comment. Next up is heat number 2 of event 121, girls 15 and over, 50-meter freestyle. Lane number 1 is Lauren Ho with Riptide. Lane 2, Isabel Scrafford with Riptide. Lane 3 is Morgan Peterson, Blackline. Lane number 4, Lauren Locke with Edina. Lane number 5 is Sydney Ebner, Northfield. Lane number 6 is Mallory Wicks with Blackline. Lane number 7, Emma Leonard with Riptide. Lane number 8 is Eden Wolf with Riptide. All right, folks, I'm going to switch that back as we had it before then. Got some good comments. Thank you. This is heat number 3. In lane number 1 is Katie Rucci with Riptide. Lane number 2 is Caitlin Mello with Riptide. Lane number 3, Olivia Howie with Riptide. Lane number 4 is Ava Appleton, Blackline. Lane number 5 is Madeline Elbert with Blackline. Lane number 6 is Amy Birmingham, Riptide. Lane 7, Ella Krapika, Northfield. Lane number 8 is Haley Quern with Blackline Aquatics. All right, folks, this is heat number 4. In lane number 1 is Audrey Tate with the Edina Swim Club. Lane number 2, Taylor Thompson, Edina. Lane number 3, Abigail Cho with Blackline Aquatics. Lane number 4, Janie Seidelschlag with Edina. Lane number 5 is Neela Bruja with the Tiger Sharks. Lane number 6, Harper Woolner with Winona. Lane 7, Ashley Miranda Lemon with Northfield. And lane number 8 is Abby Beckman. All right, next up will be heat number 5 of event 121. In lane number 1 is Eden Hill Blackline Aquatics. Lane number 2, Maria Hegland with Northfield. Lane number 3, Ella Stark with Edina. Lane number 4, Elfie Fensmayer with Edina. Lane number 5, Tilly Katz, Edina. Lane number 6, Leah Cayley, Riptide. Lane 7, Abby Williams with Winona. And in lane number 8, Julia Pearson with Blackline Aquatics. Next up is our final heat, heat number 6 of event 121, girls 15 and over, 50-meter freestyle. In lane number 1, Nora Katum, Northfield. Lane number 2, Madeline Byrne, Riptide. Lane 3, Mia Francois, Blackline. Lane number 4 is Megan Wall, Riptide. Lane 5, Isla George, Riptide. Lane 6, Annika Arlenson with Riptide. Lane 7, Summer Kraus, Tiger Sharks. Lane number 8, Ali Han, Edina Swim Club. Next up is going to be event 122. This is boys 15 and over, 50-meter freestyle. There'll be 4 heats of swimming. This will be heat number 1. In lane number 3 is Miles Leopold, unattached. Lane number 4 is Willie Grimm with Tiger Sharks. And in lane number 5 is Alexander Kratz with Blackline Aquatics. Let's watch here as they come in. And touching first, I think. Yep, touching first with lane number 5. All right, next up is heat number 2. Starting to pick up windy again here. Hopefully my papers don't fly away, and then I'll have to do it all on the fly for you. In lane number 2 is Eric Zhao with Edina Swim Club. Lane number 3 is Reed McAllister with Edina. Lane number 4 is Brad Simpson with Blackline. Lane number 5, Lucas Jens with Blackline Aquatics. Lane number 6 is Samuel Lindeen with Blackline. And in lane number 7 is Ian Chong with Riptide Swimming. Next up will be heat number 3 of event 122, boys 15 and over, 50-meter freestyle. This is heat number 3 as they get ready. There they are in the water. Lane number 1 is Tyler Guinan with Blackline Aquatics. Lane number 2 is Tristan Herbst with Riptide. Lane number 3 is Eli Montgomery with the Tiger Sharks. Lane number 4 is Will Udelhofen with Northfield. Lane number 5, Parker Eric with Riptide. Lane number 6, William Nguyen with Blackline. Lane number 7 is Ruslan Bayek with Blackline. And lane number 8 is Roman Perry with Blackline Aquatics. Next up is Heat 4. This will be our final heat of Event 122. All right, lane number 1 is Finn Berry with Edina. Lane 3 is Oliver Momberg with Northfield. Lane 4, Will Durfee with Riptide. Lane 5, Jake Peterson with Northfield. Lane 6, Dane Dow, Blackline Aquatics. Lane 7, Gabe Lenson with Riptide. Lane number 8 is Spencer Rudd with Blackline Aquatics. Well, folks, that'll do it for our 50s. So we'll be able to get back to our normal camera views here, and hopefully that'll be better for you. You'll be able to see the finishes here at the other end of the pool. I'm going to tweak our cameras just a bit here. Give me just a second. So we'll kind of do this view going forward. All right, we should be set to go. Thanks for your patience. I appreciate the comments. And now comes the time for my surprise when I go out here and see that we have 13 likes. We have 37 people watching with 13 likes. That's a lot of people with broken fingers and thumbs. Come on, folks, go on out there and press that like button. It does send a message, and I know some of you want to see this future broadcast, so go ahead and do that. Hit the like buttons. We'll share that with the swim teams, and we'll keep these broadcasts coming to you. Once again, this is Tom Rucci. I'll be your live stream host for the rest of the day. And up next is going to be Event 123. This will be a 200-meter IM. It'll be 5 heats of swimming. So once we get all the timers reset and we get the swimmers in place, we'll begin that next event. We'll talk to you in just a couple of minutes.
Tom, you're winning. Funny thing is, my in-laws don't know how to hit.
Hi guys, how's it going? Did Nyla find her? No, we saw. But Bill gave her money. It was That means we watched it on my phone.
Did you see it?
Yeah. Oh,
That's it. Don't sit on the air.
Can Lauren and I do some announcing? It's National Poopy Day. Wait, National Poopy Day. So are y'all athletes or no?
All right, folks, we are ready to go with Event 123. This is girls 13 to 14. 200-meter IM. This is heat number 1 of 5. All 3 swimmers here are 13 years of age. All right, we have 2 swimmers. Lane number 3 is Anna Spitzik with Riptide. Lane number 4 is Elizabeth Matsura with Northfield Swim Club. Anna in lane number 3 has a previous time of 2:51.59, which is a silver time. And Elizabeth in lane number 4 has a previous time of 2:49.59, And those are both in their short course. Looked like Anna Spitzek from Riptide took the turn first and is about half a body length ahead, but it's hard to tell from this angle. But yes, it does appear that is the case as they make their way back down to this end of the pool. A lot of swimming left here. We might see changes in position here as time goes on. Anna has lengthened her lead to about a full body length now at this point, maybe a body length and a half.
Here, you can take this. You're 11, 12, right?
Anna Spitzek in lane number 3 with Riptide is still in the lead as she's working her way back down to the finish. And here they come into view. It will be Anna Spitzek touching first, followed by Elizabeth Mensura with Northfield. Next up is heat number 2 of event 123. In lane number 2 is Piper Jones with Winona Swim Club. Lane number 3 is Emily Samsel with Riptide. Lane number 4 is Isabel Rosenberg with Riptide. Lane number 5 is Abby Boyson unattached. Lane number 6 is Cecilia Kinney with Riptide. And lane number 7 is Abby Christman with Riptide. Looks like lanes 4 and 5 are vying here for the first place slot as they make their turn. Well, make that lane 4 now. Isabel Rosenberg has taken over from Abby Boyson in lane number 5. Although Abby got a really good turn there. And so Isabel is starting to pull away again, as we see. Isabel is clearly leading the pack and setting the pace for this pool as she makes her time down to the other end of the pool for her final turn before completing this heat. Wind is starting to pick up here in the pool area. I don't know if you can see that with the flags waving around and some of the tents kind of flowing back and forth here. Hopefully we don't wind up in the pool with the swimmers. That would be bad. If she can keep this pace up, Isabel Rosenberg in lane number 4 will touch first. It's close. There it is, though. Isabel Rosenberg did touch first with a 3:08.65. Next up is heat number 3. In lane number 1, May Bowers with Northfield Swim Club. In lane number 2 is Phoebe Figgenschau with Edina. Lane number 3 is Tenzin Shoseng with Edina. And in lane number 4 is Greta Reichart with Riptide Swimming. Lane number 5, Jessica Bach, Riptide. Lane number 6, Serena de Sousa Larson with Edina. Lane number 7 is Mackenzie Michalik with Tiger Sharks. And lane number 8 is Kate Lebo with Riptide. Pretty close race here between lanes 4 and 5 again. I think maybe lane 5 has a slight edge. Hard to tell. As they come back here, we'll get a better look. Lane 4 is Greta Reichart. Lane number 5 is Jessica Bach, both with Riptide. What do you think, Jeremy? Lane 4, 5? Which one is it here? Lane number 5, I think. What do you think?
Lane number 5 is taking a lead.
That was Jeremy Bell, my cohort here. He's doing the in-pool announcing. Lane number 5 is pulling ahead here. Lane number 5 is Jessica Bach with Riptide. She has a previous time of, looks like 3.00.27. And she is a 13-year-old. This is going to tighten up as we're seeing right now. It's anybody's race still as they go down for their final down and back here. This is a very tight race, folks. This is going to come down to the last minute at the blocks. Who turns on the jets the fastest, the quickest? This is going to be almost a photo finish. Right now, it does look like lane number 5 is in the lead, but let's see what happens here. Here they come. There it is, finishing first was lane number 4. That's Greta Reichart with Riptide with a time of 2:59.03. Next up is heat number 4. This is, remember, 5 total heats. This is heat number 4 of event 123. This is girls 13 to 14, 200-meter IM. Into the water they go. Lane number 1, Avery Jelinek with Riptide. Lane number 2, Rachel Betts with Edina. Lane number 3 is Gracie Greenman, unattached. Lane number 4 is Lila Saltzman with Riptide. Lane number 5, Lainey Bell with Riptide. Hey, lane number 6 is Lucy Werdick with Riptide. Lane number 7 is Malela Chartier with Blackline. And lane number 8 is Hannah Stuckey with Riptide. Big shout out to the Stuckey family for providing our GoPro camera for this event. We appreciate that. Thanks so much.
Autopilot. Yeah. Oh, what's her name again? I don't know. Couldn't tell ya.
Lila Saltzman in lane number 4 is about a half a body length ahead of the rest of the group here. Pretty close behind is lane number 7. Let's watch as they make their turn. Lane number 7 is Malela Chartier with Blackline. We'll get it right eventually. It's not even close now at this point. That was a heck of a good turn. And lane number 4, Lila Saltzman with Riptide, is clearly setting the pace for this lap here. And she comes into this previously with a 2:50.61, which is a gold time previously. Be exciting to see here what she winds up with here. I can't quite see the other end of the pool at the moment. You guys actually have a better view than me at the moment. Here she comes. Lane number 4, Lila Saltzman with Riptide. Clearly will have no problem touching first. Let's see what her time is going to be. Remember, as I said, she comes into this with a 2:50.61. So looking to better that. And she gets a 2:42.51. Here's the finish, folks. In second place was Gracie Greenman in lane number 3. Next up is heat number 5. This is our final heat in this event. This is event 123. Girls 13 to 14, 200 meter IM. In lane number 1, Eleanor Modi with Edina. Lane number 2, Chandler Offerman Riptide. Lane number 3, Adele Stark Edina. Lane number 4, Sophia Gilbertson Edina. Lane number 5, Madeline Jenin with Riptide. Lane number 6, Maddie Wenzel with Riptide. Lane number 7, Vivian Lenson with Riptide. And lane number 8, Maddie Mullen with Blackline Aquatics. It's been a great weekend of swimming here. I'll tell you, my voice is exhausted, so I apologize if it's not quite as loud and not quite as clear as it has been. But it's been a lot of fun here to bring you these events. All right, let's switch to the other view so we can see as they make their turns. Currently, it looks like lane number 5 is out ahead. Let's see how the turn goes. Lane number 5 is Madeline Jenin with Riptide. As she goes into her breaststroke, she did pull ahead by about a half a body length. But it's very close with lane number 4 with Edina. That's Sophia Gilbertson with Edina in lane number 4. I believe Sophia has pulled ahead now at this point. The IM is one of those swims where if you're really good at the breaststroke, you can just dominate the rest of the teammates that are out there swimming. And in this case, I would say that lane number 4, Sophia Gilbertson, this might be her stroke, the breaststroke. Hey, how about I switch the camera view? Sorry about that, folks. For a minute there, you were listening to radio, apparently, because the video was pointing the wrong direction. But here you go. You've got the swimmers. They're coming on back. Lane number 4 is in the lead. That's Sophia Gilbertson with Edina. She comes into this with a 2:41.48. Followed right behind by lane number 5. That's Madeline Jenin with Riptide. She comes into this with a 2:42.36 previously. So touching first is lane number 4. We'll get you those results here shortly. There you go. All right, up next is Event 124. This is boys 13 to 14. 200 meter IM. This will be heat number 1 of 2.
Pearson, Riptide. In lane 2, Andrew Deeb, Riptide. In lane 3, Carson Ossendorf, Riptide.
All right, lane number 1 is Pearson Crick with Riptide. Lane number 2 is Andrew Deeb, Riptide. Lane number 3 is Carson Ossendorf with Riptide. Lane number 4, Joey Kunze with Riptide. Lane number 5, Gavin Yang with Riptide. Lane number 6, Ethan Jens with Blackline. Lane number 7, Owen Smith with Edina. And lane number 8 is Logan Krapika with Northfield. Thanks again for the nice comments out there to Laura Stuckey. Appreciate that. This is another hot, contested swim. Lanes 3, 4, 5 are pretty close, although lane number 3 is leading as they come back for their turn. Lane number 3 is Carson Ossendorf with Riptide Swimming. Carson is 13 years old, and he comes into this with a 2:57.72 previously. That's a silver time. Looks like next to Carson there. In lane number 5 is Joey Kunze with Riptide. He is catching up a little bit there. He's a 14-year-old. And he comes into this with a 2:53.95, which is also a silver time. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch this one to the finish, folks. Carson is hanging on to that lead by about a body length as we speak in lane number 3 against teammate Joey Kunze in lane number 4. Here he comes to the finish line. He's going to touch, and he will touch with a 2:45.70. Next up is heat number 2 of event 124, boys 13 to 14. 200 meter IM. This is our final heat of event 124. In lane number 1 is Max Moser with Edina Swim Club. Lane number 2 is August Wolf with Edina Swim Club. Lane number 3, Mackenzie Schroeder with Riptide. Lane number 4, Kai Meta with Edina. Lane 5, Josh Peters with Edina. Lane number 6, Alex Frenshu with Blackline. Lane number 7, Andrew Lippert with Edina. And lane number 8, Owen Reese with Black Dog Swimming. Boy, this is a tight one, but I believe, if I'm not mistaken, lane number 5 is slightly ahead of his teammate in lane number 4. Lane number 5 is Josh Peters. Lane number 4 is Kai Meta, both with Edina. Lane number 5 got the turn first. That's Josh Peters with Edina. Josh is a 13-year-old. Comes into this with a 2:39.30, which is a gold time. But right on his heels, and I mean right on his heels, is Kai Meta in lane number 4. This is going to be a fight all the way to the end. Once again, you're watching Event 124, boys 13 to 14, 200-meter IM. This is our last heat of this event, heat number 2. And we're watching two teammates fight their way to the finish line, both from Edina, although in lane number 6, pouring on the steam, is Alex Frenshu from Blackline as well. Let's see what happens here. This is going to be another one of those photo finishes. We've got to switch the view. We have to see what happens here. Wow, lots of stuff happening there. Let's look at the results. There it is. Finishing first was Josh Peters of Edina in lane number 5.
Event 125, girls. 15.
Next up is Event 125. This is girls 15 and over 100-meter IM. Heat number 1 of 4. Three swimmers are in the water. Lane number 3 is Kira Lovett with Red Wing. Lane number 4, Shade Knapp with Riptide. And in lane number 5 is Morgan Peterson with Blackline Aquatics. Kira in lane number 3 is 16 years old and has a previous time of 2:42.35 in short course. Shade is in lane number 4 with Riptide. She has a previous time of 3:03.53, which is a silver time. In lane number 5, Morgan Peterson is 15. She's with Blackline, and she has a previous time of 3:11.05. Leading the pack right now is Shade Knapp. They are heading back for their first turn here, about a body length ahead. Let's watch as they make the changeover. There's the flip. There we go, or the turn rather. Pretty good turn as they go into their breaststroke. Let's change the view. There we go. Shade's lead is lengthening as we speak. Shade clearly is dominating this pool at the moment and should come in first if Shade can continue this. Shade is 16 years old, by the way, with Riptide. Once again, you're watching Event 125. This is girls 15 and over, 200-meter IM. Jeremy Bell is my co-host here. He's the in-pool announcer. Jeremy, tell us a little bit about the excitement at the pool here today.
There are a lot of fans here today. Good weather we're having, and you'll notice with a lot of these swimmers, after swimming really hard for 3 days, sometimes they're really good on the last day of a 3-day meet, and sometimes you just miss. Right now, you see Shade Knapp coming in. He's going to have a nice finish to this race.
Shade Knapp does finish first in lane number 4. It's going to be tight for second. Let's see the results here. There you go, folks. Next up is heat number 2. Swimmers are on their marks. Into the water they go. In lane number 2, Amy Birmingham with Riptide. Lane number 3, Madeline Elbert, Blackline. Lane number 4 is Katie Rucci with Riptide. Lane number 5, Haley Quern with Blackline. Lane number 6, Neela Bruja with the Tiger Sharks. Lane number 7, Olivia Kortum with Northfield. Remember, folks, as we were stating before, this will come down to a couple of strokes here. Specifically, when they switch over to the breaststroke, we'll start to see the teams separate. Right now, everybody is fairly even. Well, wait a minute. Now I've got somebody in my way. I can't quite see, but it looks to me like... Is that lane number 7 over there? It is. Lane number 7, that's Olivia Kortum with Northfield. She is leading the pack back with her backstroke here. So is lane number 2 catching up. That's Madeline Elbert with Blackline. Madeline has now taken over in lane number 3. I'm sorry, lane number 2. Lane number 2 is Amy Birmingham. Let me take that back. Sorry, Amy. That's Amy Birmingham with Riptide. All right, let's watch to see now what happens. As I said, this is what separates the swimmers, is when they switch into this breaststroke. Can we see somebody pop out here and take over? I'm going to say lane number 2 right now is leading this race. Lane number 2 is Amy Birmingham with Riptide. She comes into this with a 2:58.43. She's a 15-year-old in this event. We are seeing some swimmers catch up. However, I don't know that there'll be enough pool left for them to overtake their competition. Here they come back. Wow, this is going to be another close one between lane 2 and 7 at the moment. I don't think anybody else is in contention at this point, but it is going to be a tight one. They are neck and neck with lane number 2 just slightly ahead. Lane number 2 is Amy Birmingham. She did touch first. Lane number 7, that's Olivia Kortum with Northfield touching second. Touching third is lane number 5. Lane number 5 is Haley Quern with Blackline. Next up is heat number 3 of Event 125. In lane number 1, Olivia Howie with Riptide. Lane number 2, Abigail Toe with Blackline. Lane number 3, Annika Arlenson with Riptide. Lane number 4, Isla George with Riptide. Lane number 5, Ferris Gotti, Riptide. Lane number 6 is Megan Wall with Riptide. Lane number 7 is Caitlin Mello with Riptide. Lane number 8 is Audrey Tate with Edina. We have a shout-out from John Burbank. Good job, Carson Osendorf. We're proud of you. I'll try to catch those shout-outs as they come, doing my best as that part of the stream isn't quite working right. But certainly I can see them periodically, so I'll catch up to those. All right, in the lead currently appears to be lane number 5. It's going to be a tight one here. Let's watch the turn. Yep, lane number 5 took the turn first. Lane number 5, as you know, is Ferris Gotti with Riptide. Just second is going to be lane number 3. Lane number 3 is Annika Arlenson, also with Riptide. Annika is a 15-year-old. She's with Riptide. She's got a previous time of 2:48.94. Ferris Gotti in lane number 5 is 17. She is with Riptide. She has a previous time of 2:48.39. However, leading the pack currently is lane number 3. That is Annika Arlenson, as we spoke before. Let's watch as she comes back in and touches. Great job there. She touched with a 2:37.76. Second was Ferris Gotti with a 2:41.15. Next up is heat number 4. This is our final heat of event 125, girls 15 and over, 200-meter IM. In lane number 1, Abby Williams with Winona. Lane number 2, Ellie Hahn with Edina. Lane number 3, Effie Fensmeyer with Edina. Lane number 4, Nora Katoum with Northfield. Lane number 5, Taylor Thompson with Edina. Lane number 6, Tilly Katz with Edina. In lane number 7 is Ava Appleton with Blackline. And in lane number 8 is Mia Francois with Blackline Aquatics. I think at this point, it's safe to say that lane number 4 is in the lead by about a body length. Lane number 4 was Nora Katoum with Northfield. She is a 15-year-old with a previous time of 2:36.31. As she makes her way back here, let's watch the turn. She gets a pretty good turn, lengthens her lead by about another half a body length. Looks like she's a pretty good breaststroker here because I'm seeing her lead lengthen quite a bit as she heads down to the other end of the pool, folks. Also a very good breaststroker is right next to her here. That's Taylor Thompson in lane number 5 with Edina. Taylor is a 15-year-old and comes into this with a 2:37.31. It's going to be hard to catch up here. Lane number 4 should take first in this one. That's Nora Katoom we've been watching here from Northfield. And I think second is going to go to Taylor Thompson from Edina in lane number 5. Let's watch as they touch. Yes, that is the case. Coming in third is going to be lane number 3. That's Effie Fensmeyer from Edina as well. Effie's a 15-year-old, and she has a previous time of 2:37.65. Now, next up is Event 126. This is boys 15 and over, 200-meter IM. This will be heat 1 of 2. Boys are in the water. Lane number 1 is Reed McAllister with Edina Swim Club. Lane number 2 is Brad Simpson with Blackline. Lane number 3, Josh Sikorsky with Blackline. Lane number 4 is William Nguyen with Blackline. Lane number 5 is Aiden Smith with Riptide. Lane number 6, Eric Zhao with Edina. And in lane number 7, Alexander Kratz with Blackline Aquatics. Pretty close here between lanes 3 and 5. Watch as they make their turns. Lane 3 is Josh Sikorsky with the Blackline. Lane 5 is Aiden Smith with Riptide. Aiden is a 16-year-old, and he has a previous time of 2:37.30. Lane number 5, Aiden Smith with Riptide, has pulled ahead here. He's got about a body length ahead of his competition. We'll watch as he goes down, see if he can maintain that. Remember, you're watching heat number 1 of event 126. This is boys 15 and over, 200-meter IM. Boy, this is really close as I'm watching these swimmers come back here. Pouring on the jets in lane number 4 is William Nguyen with Blackline. These two swimmers are really cruising towards the finish line, but I think lane number 4 will take it first. It does appear that way. William will finish with a 2:34.72 in lane number 4. Next up is our final heat of event 126, heat number 2. In lane number 1, Zach Ochani with Edina Swim Club. Lane number 2, Tristan Herbst with Riptide Swim Team. Lane number 3 is Joe Hemberger with Edina. Lane number 4 is Dane Dow with Blackline. Lane number 5 is Jake Peterson with Northfield. Lane 6, Roman Perry with Blackline. And in lane number 8 is Will Durfee with Riptide. Looks like lane number 5 for Northfield. Jake Peterson is leading the pack. Jake is a 17-year-old for Northfield. Previous time of 2:25.45. Very tight pack, though, as they go down to the other end of the pool. You'd probably like to see that. Let's put it up here on the screen.
They didn't press the plug. I heard I just got fired.
Finishing first is going to be lane number 4. Lane number 4 was Dane Dow with Blackline Aquatics.
Event 127 girls, 14, 200-meter backstroke.
Next up is event 127, girls 13 to 14, 200-meter backstroke. This will be heat 1 of 2. We're getting one of the touch pads here, a little tender love and care. So give us just a second here while we get that back in the water and working. All right, looks like we got our technical work done for the day. Let's hope. Once they confirm that that is all set to go, we'll go ahead and start this one. There it is. That's the whistle. Swimmers are now in the water. And they're off. In lane number 2, Sasha Stokes with Edina. Lane 3, Sophia Studnicka with Blackline. Lane number 4, Samantha Graves with Riptide. Lane number 5, Tenson Chosing with Edina. Lane number 6, Thea Caswell with Edina. Lane 7 is Isabel Rosenberg with Riptide. Lane number 4, that's Samantha Graves with Riptide, is currently leading the pack back here. Let's watch as she makes her turn. Samantha's a 13-year-old swimmer from Riptide with a previous time of 3:02.04. She's got about a body and a half length lead over the rest of the pack. She's hanging on to that as she makes her way to the other end of the pool. Yeah, there goes her lead lengthening even more, so I don't think there's any problem with her here maintaining that all the way through to the end. For second place, challenging each other, is lanes 3 and 5. Lane 3 is Sophia Stanica with Blackline. Lane number 5 is Tenzin Chosang with Edina. Both of them 13-year-olds. Does look like lane number 3, Sophia Studnicka with Blackline, is going to take second place here. Let's watch. She did. There you go. There's your standings and your results. Next up is heat number 2. This is our final heat of event 127, girls 13 to 14, 200-meter backstroke. In lane 1, Jessica Baki and for Riptide. Lane number 2, Ruby Call with Riptide. Lane number 3, Malaya Chartier with Blackline. Lane number 4, Kaylee Van Ruden with Blackline. Lane number 5, Gwyneth McLaughlin with Edina. Lane number 6, Avery Jelinek with Riptide. Lane number 7 is Phoebe Figgenshaw with Edina. And lane number 8 is Gracie Greenman, unattached. I think Gracie swims with Atlantis Federation, however, but they are listing her as unattached. Gracie is a 14-year-old and comes into this with a 3:01.60. Lane 4, that's Kaylee Von Ruden with Blackline. And lane number 8, Gracie Greenman, as we just spoke about, are fighting here for the lead, but I think Gracie has got it at the moment by about a half a body length. Let's watch as they make their turn. That's Gracie on your far right side of your screen. She has made the turn. Let's see how she's about a half a length body length ahead.
Yeah, Gracie Greenman, one of your girl swimmers, right? Yep. Yeah, her turn was awesome. She was swimming very well. Here, if you want. Like what you're saying?
As we said before, this is a fight between lane number 7 with Gracie and lane number 4 with Kaylee Van Ruden with Blackline. Let's see what happens here. It's definitely Gracie who is in the lead here. Let's watch as they come back to the finish line. There you go. There's our results. All right, next up is event 128. This is boys 13 to 14, 200-meter backstroke. This is heat 1 of 2. Swimmers are getting in the water here. And lane number 3 is Pearson Crick with Riptide. Lane number 4, Aiden Fitch with Riptide. And in lane number 5, Jack Fritz with Blackline Aquatics.
Hey, how are you? Good to see you. Here's some of them. Want to get girls? You left the girl at home, or? Well, my oldest is kind of home. Yeah. That's a little weird. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Olivia, how you doing? Ready for that fly?
Okay. Good.
Pearson Crick with Riptide is currently leading the pack. He has a previous time of 2:37.40 in his short course. Aiden Fitch is in second place currently. He's 13 years old from Riptide and has a 3:13.55. And currently in third place in lane number 5 is Jack Fritz with Blackline Aquatics, and he has a previous time of 3:14.90.
But it was fine. We recognized.
At this point, I don't see anyone catching up with Pearson Crick in lane number 3. He's lengthened his lead incredibly and is dominating this this swim.
We're done. They did really with the state tournament. They like, all right. Glad everyone's happy. Yeah.
That's Pearson, you see, hitting the wall first with a time of 3:02.52. Touching second is lane number 5, and that's Jack Fritz with Blackline.
14, 200-meter backstroke. 2:02.
Next up is heat number 2.
In lane two, Aditya Diga Edina.
In lane number 1, Aditya Adiga Edina. And actually, it looks like lane 2. Apparently, there's a change.
Riptide. In lane 6, Dylan Fleming, Edina. And in lane 7, Ben Jones, Blackline.
Who's in lane 2? In lane 2 is Ethan Jens with Blackline. Lane number 3 is Carson Osendorf with Riptide. Lane number 4 is Kai Meta with Edina. Lane number 5 is Wes Knapp with Riptide. Lane number 6, Dylan Fleming with Edina. And lane number 7 is Ben Jones with Blackline Aquatics. This is a really tight race here between lanes 3, 4, 5, and even 6. It's almost like synchronized swimming that we're watching here. Slightly ahead, lane number 3, that's Carson Osendorf with Riptide. He's got about a half a body length on his competition there. I think I can recycle this shout out I had earlier here from John Burbank. Good job, Carson Osendorf. We're proud of you. It seems to fit this one. Once again, Carson Osendorf is 13 years old. He's with Riptide Swimming. He has a previous time of 2:48.60 in this, which is a gold time. Swimmers are still pretty tight here. Looks like taking over the lead is going to be lane number 5. Lane number 5 is Wes Knapp with Riptide. Great job here. This is so much fun to watch these tight swims. Wes will touch first with a time of 2:37.98. Carson touched second with a 2:38.76. Next up is Event 129. This is girls 15 and over, 200-meter backstroke, heat 1 of 3. Swimmers are getting set here. We should have 3 swimmers in the water, and we do. Lane number 3 is Audrey Tate with Edina. Lane number 4, Morgan Peterson with Blackline Aquatics. And in lane number 5 is Harper Woolner with Winona Swim Club. Does look like Harper in lane number 5 is taking the lead. Harper is a 17-year-old, and she has a previous short course time of 2:25.86. Vying for second place is the 2 other swimmers here. Audrey Tate with Edina. She's a 16-year-old with a previous time of 2:33.78 in yardage, so that's her short course. And, of course, lane 4, Morgan Peterson with Blackline. She's 15 and has a time of 3:10.41. There is the turn. We can see Harper is still in the lead here in the pink suit and blue hat. Taking the turn first was Morgan Peterson, lane number 4, for that second position. That means in lane number 3, Audrey Tate, she is in third place at the moment. Still, these are really exciting because they're so close here for some of these positions.
It varies, but I usually get there at least between 6 and 7. So I'd say my average time is like 6:30 or 7. Sometimes I'm there at 6. Yeah, I think I got all my honeydew lists done before I came down here.
Clearly, Harper Woolner is going to take the first place position here. Remember, her previous time was from the short course, and it was 2:25.86, so she's trying to better that here. Here she comes. She will touch with... She touches with a 2:51.15. Touching second is lane number 4. There's your results. Heat number 2 is next. This is our second heat of event 129. Swimmers are set in the water. Lane number 1, Madeline Elbert with Black Line. Lane number 2, Sydney Ebner with Northfield. Lane number 3 is Isabel Scrafford with Riptide. Lane number 4, Leah Cayley with Riptide. Lane number 5, Abby Beckman with Black Line. Lane number 6, Amy Birmingham with Riptide. And lane number 7, Shade Knapp with Riptide. Taking the turn first, clearly leading the rest of the pack, is lane number 6. Lane number 6 is Amy Birmingham with Riptide Swim Team. Amy is a 15-year-old, and she has a previous time of 2:52.88. Looks like lane number 4 is in second place. Lane number 4 is Leah Cayley with Riptide. She is a 16-year-old with a previous time of 2:49.49. We'll watch as the swimmers make their way back here to the finish. There's lane number 6 touching right now. That's Amy Birmingham with Riptide. She touches with a 2:44.26. Lane number 4 touches second. She touches with a 2:52.46. 46. Next up is our final heat. This is heat number 3 of event 129. In lane number 1 is Madeline Byrne with Riptide. Lane number 2 is Eden Hill with Black Line. Lane number 3 is Tilly Katz with Edina. Lane number 4, Ferris Gotti with Riptide. Lane number 5, Julia Pearson with Black Line. Lane number 6, Effie Fessenmeyer with Edina. Lane number 7, Molly Ditzler with Black Line. And lane number 8 is Summer Kraus with the Tiger Sharks. This is a pretty tight group. However, looks like lane number 5 is leading things here for Black Line. Lane number 5 is Julia Pearson. She's a 17-year-old. with a previous time of, looks like 2:35.96. In a very close second is lane number 2. Lane number 2 is Eden Hill with black line. She's a 16-year-old with a previous time of 2:39.37, which is a gold time.
No, it's the hardest thing to work on the regular pool.
Because it's so like yeah.
It's a fight between the two teammates here. However, pulling ahead, turning on the Jets, is lane number 2. That's Eden Hill with black line. She will touch first. Lane number 5 touches second. That's Julia Pearson. Next up is event 130. This is boys 15 and over, 200-meter backstroke. This will be heat 1 of 3. In lane number 3 is Josh Sikorsky with black line. Lane number 4 is Brad Simpson with black line. And in lane number 5 is Alexander Kratz with black line. This is an all black line heat. Pretty tight group here, however, in lane number 3. Josh Sikorsky, he's a 17-year-old. He is leading by about a body length at this moment. Followed by Brad Simpson in lane number 4. He's a 15-year-old. And then Alexander Kratz, also a 15-year-old, is currently in 3rd.
Hey, Mark, are we doing parents timing for the 800s? Get closer to the 800s, folks. As the events do come up, you will be responsible for timing for your child. For all 800 swimmers, you will be responsible for timing for your child. And time trials, if you decide to enter your child.
Josh Sikorsky with black line has lengthened his lead at the other end of the pool here. The wind is really picking up here, folks. You can probably see it in the flags here. But that won't stop Josh Sikorsky from touching first. Next up is heat number 2 of event 130. This is boys 15 and over, 200-meter backstroke.
Willie Graham, Tiger Sharks. In lane 3,
In lane number 2 is Willie Grimm with the Tiger Sharks. Lane number 3, Samuel Lindeen with Blackline. Lane 4, Aiden Smith with Riptide. Lane 5, Eric Zhao with Edina. Lane 6, Ruslan Bayak with Blackline. And lane number 7, Louis Decatori with Blackline Aquatics. Pretty tight as they go past us here. Lanes 3 and 5 are neck and neck. I think lane 3 is going to take the turn first, but that's really a tight one to call. Lane number 3 is Samuel Lindeen with Blackline. Lane number 5 was Eric Zhao with Edina. Both 15-year-olds. Lane number 4 appears to be in third place, and that's Aiden Smith with Riptide. And Aiden is a 16-year-old and comes into this with a 236.74 previously. This is going to be a photo finish here as they make their way back to the starting blocks to end this heat. I'm going to call it for lane number 3, and that's what it was. Lane number 3, wheel touch first. That's Samuel Lindeen with Blackline with a 234.27. Next up is our final heat of this event. This is heat number 3 of event 130. This is boys 15 and over, 200-meter backstroke. And lane number 1 is Zach Owachani with Edina. Lane 2, Parker Eric with Riptide. Lane 3, Spencer Rudd, Blackline. Lane 4, Tristan Herbst with Riptide. Lane number 5, Joe Hemberger with Edina. Lane number 6, Finn Berry with Edina. And lane number 7, Gabe Lenson with Riptide. And in lane number 8, Nolan Hansen with Riptide. Parker Eric in lane number 2 is our 17-year-old and oldest swimmer in the pool right now. Next to him in lane number 3, Spencer Rudd is a 16-year-old and our second oldest. All the rest of the athletes are 15 years old. Tough to call a leader here. It's going to be between lanes 3 and 4. Remember, it's all changing right now. Lane 4 is pulling ahead. Lane 4 is Tristan Herbst with Riptide. Lane 3, by the way, was Spencer Rudd with Blackline. Tristan's lead in lane number 4 is starting to lengthen. If he can keep up the pace, he will come in first in this one. We've got a shout out here from Renee. It says, "Go for it, Nolan." And she's speaking, of course, of Nolan Hansen in lane number 8. He's a 15-year-old with Riptide and has a previous time of 2:34.17 in this event. Tristan Herbst with Riptide will definitely finish first here as he comes back to the starting blocks to touch. And he will touch with a 2:23.87. It's about a second or so better. Next up is event 131. This is girls 13 to 14, 100-meter butterfly. This is heat 1 of 3. All right, the girls are in the water. Lane number 3 is Mae Bowers with Northfield. Lane number 4 is Abby Boyson unattached. Lane number 5 is Olivia Fisher unattached. And lane 6 is Kate Lebo with Riptide.
I'm not calling anything. I'm just like,
Looks like turning first at the other end of the pool, if I saw it right, was lane number 6, which was Kate Lebo from Riptide. Kate is a 14-year-old, and she has a previous time of 1:18.49 in yardage, which means her short course. You can see Kate coming into your screen right now. And she touches with a 1:25.51.
100-meter butterfly, heat 2 of 3.
Next up is heat number 2 of event 131.
In lane 1, Rachel Betts, Edina.
In lane number 1 is Rachel Betts with Edina. Lane number 2, Ruby Call with Riptide. Lane number 3 is Lila Saltzman, Riptide. Lane 4, Adele Stark with Edina. Lane 5, Chandler Offerman, Riptide. Lane number 6, Hollis Holden, Northfield. Lane number 7, Natalie George, Blackline Aquatics. And lane number 8, Samantha Graves, Riptide. In the lead, lane number 3, Lila Saltzman with Riptide. I believe she will touch first. And yes, she touches first, followed by, looks like lane number 2. Lane number 2 was Ruby Call, also with Riptide. Next up is our final heat of this event, heat number 3 of event 131, girls 13 to 14, 100-meter butterfly. In lane number 1 is Greta Reichert with Riptide. Lane number 2, Lily Wilkinson with the Tiger Sharks. Lane number 3, Sophia Gilbertson with Edina. Lane number 4, Maddie Mullen with Blackline. Lane number 5, Greta Kortum with Northfield. Lane number 6 is Vivian Lenson with Riptide. Lane number 7, Maddie Wenzel, Riptide. And lane number 8, Lucy Weirdick with Riptide. Looks like lane number 5 is going to take first here. Lane number 5 for Northfield is Greta Kortum. Let's watch as they come back. She will touch first. Get you your results here. Coming in second was lane number 4. That's Maddie Mullen with Blackline. Event 132, boys 13 to 14, 100-meter butterfly. This is heat 1 of 1.
Lane 1, Logan Kupika, Northfield. Lane 3, Owen Reese, Black Dog. Lane 4, William Benish, Blackline. In lane 5,
In lane 1 is Logan Krupika with Northfield. Lane number 2, Andrew Lippert with Edina. Lane number 3, Owen Reese with Black Dog. Lane number 4, William Benish with Black Line. Lane number 5, Mackenzie Schroeder with Riptide. Lane number 6, Gavin Yang with Riptide. And Yang number 7 is Joey Kunze with Riptide. Leading here is lane number 4. Lane number 4 is William Benish with Blackline. He's a 13-year-old with a previous time of 1:17.82.
Event 133, girls.
Next up is event 133. That's girls 15 and over, 100-meter butterfly. This is heat 1 of 2. In lane number 1 is Lauren Locke with Edina. Lane number 2 is Katie Rucci with Riptide. Lane number 3, Mia Francois with Blackline. Lane number 4, Olivia Kortum, Northfield. Lane number 5, Abigail Chu with Blackline. Lane number 6, Taylor Thompson, Edina. And lane number 7 is Mallory Wicks with Blackline. Have another shout out here from Reggie. It says, good luck, Maddie, with Riptide. Another shout out here. Good luck to Katie Rucci. She's with Riptide in lane number 2. Leading currently is lane number 4 with well, let's see who it is. I'm sorry. Lane number 4 with Northfield is Olivia Kortum. She will touch first, followed by lane number 6. Lane number 6 is Taylor Thompson with Edina. All right, folks, we're gaining on it here. This is our heat number 2 and our final heat in event 133. Girls 15 and over, 100-meter butterfly. In lane 1, Ali Han with Edina. Lane 2, Ferris Gotti with Riptide. Lane 3, Janie Seitschlag with Edina. Lane number 4, Ashley Miranda Lamone with Northfield. Lane 5, Olivia Howie with Riptide. Lane 6, Molly Ditzler with Blackline. Lane number 7, Madeline Byrne with Riptide. And lane number 8, and Audrey Tate with Edina. Sorry, folks, the wind picked up and started blowing everything all over the place, including some of our equipment. So that was a little bit of a funny announcement. I'm trying to work on that with the wind. We have one more event before we hit the 800s here. Lane number 5 will touch first. Lane 5 was Olivia Howie with Riptide. Let's look at the results. There you go.
Event 134.
Next up is event 134. This is boys 15 and over. 100-meter butterfly. This will be heat 1 of 2.
Lane 2, Willie Grimm, Tiger Sharks. In lane 3, Samuel.
Lane number 2 is Willie Grimm with the Tiger Sharks. Lane number 3, Samuel Lindeen with Blackline. Lane number 4, Griffin McIntosh with Edina. Lane number 5 is Reed McAllister with Edina. And lane number 6, Oliver Momberg with Northfield Swim Club. It is neck and neck as we're watching two teammates in lanes 4 and 5 work their way back here to the finish. That's Griffin McIntosh and Reed McAllister for Edina. There it is. Griffin will touch first, followed by his teammate Reed.
Over 100-meter butterfly. 2 of 2.
This is our final heat, heat number 2 of event 134, boys 15 and over, 100-meter butterfly. In lane number 1 is Louis Decatori with Blackline. Lane number 2 is Finn Berry with Edina. Lane number 3 is Joe Hemberger with Edina. Lane 5 is Jake Peterson with Northfield. Lane number 6 is Spencer Rudd with Blackline. Lane number 7, Mason Dietering with Blackline. And lane number 8 is Aiden Smith with Riptide. Folks, this is our last heat of our last event before we get into the 800-meter freestyles, and those will be up next. Boy, that was exciting, huh? Right to the finish there. However, lane number 3, Joe Hemberger, did finish first with a 105.72, followed by Jake Peterson, lane number 5, it says, with 105.77. That is pretty tight.
The pool is now open for
All right, folks, we're going to take a slight break here while the swimmers warm up for the 800s, and we change out our timers. So we'll be back with you in just a few minutes.
you will be required to time for your child.
Gotten that far, but Justin said he was willing to hang around for time. Okay. So if you're willing to do that, can you do this year?
Yes.
The electric chair. grab myself a dive on here.
Yeah, they just opened up.
I'm going to leave you with a split view here to watch the starting block area as well as the main pool. While we get ready for those next events here, just so you know what's coming up, unless I get blown away here, we'll have the girls 13 and over 800-meter freestyles. There should be 3 heats of that, and then 2 heats of the boys 13 and over 800-meter freestyle. So that should do it for us. That'll take us to the end. And so that'll be up next here while the swimmers get in the water, warm up, and our timers get ready. We'll be talking to you in just a few minutes. Once again, this is Tom Rucci, and I'm your live stream host. I'll be with you through the 800s here. And don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Yeah, I wrote you down. Hey, Eleni, you were a little bit my daughter's scratching, so that's good enough.
All right, folks, up next is event 135. This is girls 13 and over 800-meter freestyle. This will be heat 1 of 3. In lane number 2, actually, I'll wait for a moment here to let the swimmers get ready. Getting a little ahead of myself here. So there'll be 3 heats of girls 13 and over 800-meter freestyle. Swimmers are lining up right now.
Event 135. 13 over, girls, 100-meter freestyle.
All right, in lane number 2 is Harriet White from Edina. Lane 3, Sophia Gilbertson from Edina. Lane number 4, Ella Stark from Edina. In lane number 5, Annika Arlenson with Riptide. Lane number 6 is Madeline Jenin with Riptide. In lane number 7 is Malaya Chartier with Blackline. And in lane number 8 is Shade Knapp with Riptide.
The orange. The orange cream. Oh, I know. It's sort of like that creamsicle. Yeah. I was they got a whole bunch of they have the lemon sorbet.
So far, a pretty tight group as they come back for their first turn. However, lane number 5, that's Annika Arlenson from Riptide. She is ahead by about a half a body length. I'll leave you this view for a little bit here as the swimmers make their ways around. By the way, Annika Arlenson is 15 years old, and she's swum this before with a 10:04.89. Taking the bell in lane number 5 is Annika Arlenson with Riptide. As she goes down for her final lap in this 800 event.
Event 135, girls.
All right, up next is heat number 2 of event 135. Again, this is girls 13 and over 800-meter freestyle.
In lane 1, Samantha Graves, Riptide.
In lane number 1 is Samantha Graves with Riptide. Lane number 2 is Allie Peterson with Riptide. Lane number 3 is Olivia Kurtum with Northfield. In lane number 4 is Eden Hill with Blackline. In lane number 5 is Hannah Stuckey with Riptide. In lane number 6 is Chandler Offerman with Riptide. And in lane number 7 is Kaylee Van Ruden with Blackline. So once again, this is event 135, girls 13 and over, 800-meter freestyle. After this heat, there'll be one more before we move on to the boys. All right, leading so far in lane number 4 is Eden Hill with Blackline. She's a 16-year-old with a previous time of 10:47.81. Followed by lane number 5, that's Hannah Stuckey. She's a 14-year-old with Riptide, previous time of 10:59.64. Next to her in lane number 6 is Chandler Offerman, a 13-year-old from Riptide with a previous time of 11:00.22. In lane number 7 is Kaylee Von Ruden. She's a 13-year-old with Blackline, and her previous time is 11:13.41. Let's go back and look at lanes number 1, 2, and 3. Lane number 1 is Samantha Graves, a 13-year-old from Riptide with a previous time of 11:14.59. And lane number 2 is Allie Peterson with Riptide. Her previous time is 11:08.24, and she's also 13. And lane number 3 is Olivia Kortum, and she is the elder in the pool at 17 for Northfield, and her previous time is 11:00.08. We're getting ready with the bell here. For lane number 4, once again, lane number 4 is Eden Hill. There she is taking the bell for her final lap down and back for this heat number 2 of the girls 13 and over 800-meter freestyle. Here comes Eden Hill to the finish. Eden will touch with a, well, it says 10:31.74. Coming in second was Hannah Stuckey with a 10:42.42. Next up will be our final heat of this event. This is heat number 3.
Over 800-meter freestyle.
This is event 135, girls 13 and over 800-meter freestyle. Once again, this is heat number 3. And our final heat, we should have 3 swimmers. We do.
In lane 3, Eleanor Modi, Edina. In lane 4.
In lane number 3, Eleanor Modi with Edina. Lane number 4 is Madison Rutherford with Blackline. And in lane number 5 is Lauren Ho with Riptide. Eleanor is a 14-year-old with a time of 12:16.22 previously in her short course season. Madison Rutherford is 15 years old for Blackline. Her previous time is a 12:02.66. And lane number 5 is Lauren Ho. She is a 17-year-old. She swims for Riptide. Her previous time is a 12:03.75.
you guys see any trash? You guys see the water on there?
Taking the bell is lane number 3. Lane number 3 is Eleanor Modi with Edina. You'll recall she's our 14-year-old in the pool. She's the young swimmer. And her previous time was in the short course with a 12:16:22. You just saw making her turn Madison Rutherford from Blackline in lane number 4. Eleanor will touch first in lane number 3. Her time is a 10:45:43. Lane number 5, touching now, is Lauren Ho with Riptide. She's our 17-year-old. If you'll recall, she came into this with a 12:03:75, and she touched with an 11:25:07. A nice improvement on her time. Now coming into the picture for her finish will be Madison Rutherford in lane number 4. She's a 15-year-old with Blackline. Her previous time is 12:02:66. And she touched with an 11:51:34. All right, swimmers are out of the water, and the boys are getting ready now. So next up will be event 136. This is the boys 13 and over, 800-meter freestyle. There'll be 2 heats of this. This will be heat number 1 of 2. It's actually combined. It's events 136 and 138. In lane number 1 is Wes Knapp with Riptide. Lane number 2 is Tyler Guinan with Blackline. Lane number 3 is Gabe Lenson with Riptide. Lane number 4 is Dane Dow with Blackline. Lane number 5 is Will Durfee with Riptide. Lane number 6 is Nolan Hansen with Riptide. Lane number 7 is Griffin McIntosh with Edina. And lane number 8 is Kai Mehta with Edina. A little bit about our swimmers here. In lane number 1 is Wes Knapp. He's a 13-year-old with Riptide. His previous time is a 10:15:37. In lane number 2, Tyler Guinan with Blackline is 16 years old. His previous time is 10:05:87. Gabe Lenson with Riptide in lane number 3 is 15. And his previous time is 9:53:81. In lane number 4, Dane Dow is 16. And he's with Blackline. Previous time of 9:23:98. In lane number 5 is Will Durfee. He's 16 with Riptide. And his previous time is 9:39 even. Lane number 6 has Nolan Hansen. He's 15 with Riptide. And his time was 10:01:51 before. In lane number 7, Griffin McIntosh is 15 with Edina. His previous time is 10:08.82. And finally, in lane number 8 is Kai Meta. He's 13 years old with Edina, and his entry time is 10:23.11. Dane Dow in lane number 4 is leading the pack here, and he's with Blackline. He's got a pretty good lead on, folks. Let's take a look at the turn. Nice turn, good push. That'll help lengthen his lead a little bit.
Came around, there was some girl standing on that edge, and they're like, "You need to get in there." And I was like, "Just get your full body workout." Right? Oh, here. That's one of the most feminine people I've seen.
Yeah.
I realized that the lane was
Oh, and it's so boring.
It's the trucks. Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. Oh, that's the word. Just like trying to. I know. And it's funny, like you wake up and you're like, I have one at my parents for the part they have, but it was I think it was more hamstring.
You're telling the guy that way. That's what I say when I get the parent that comes in and you know, just because I see the 280 kids. Like, oh, they're fun.
Yeah, some are, some are not.
No.
Right.
Go get him, Tiger.
Goodbye.
Go get him, Tiger.
Yeah, they were big slow.
Yeah, got something for you. We got another time trial? No. Oh, you never know with some of these parents. What is it?
I don't know who's still here for parents, but high point for this weekend. For girls, 13-14. Gwyneth McLaughlin from Edina with 106. Maddie Jenin from Riptide with 89. And Kaylee Von Ruden from Blackline with 88. 15-16 girls. Annika Arlanson, Riptide, 117. Amy Birmingham, Riptide, 96. And a tie, Madeline Bryn, also from Riptide with 96 points. 17 and over girls individual scores. Olivia Cortum from Northfield with 103. Farah Scotty from Riptide tying in second, or tied for first with 103. And then Neela Brua from Tiger Sharks with 91 points. Congratulations, ladies.
Thanks, Jeremy, for those stats there to share those with folks at home and the folks here at the pool area. So, folks, we'll continue to bring you this live feed through the 800-meter freestyle event for the boys. This is heat number 1, by the way, of event 136, boys 13 and over, 800-meter freestyle. There'll be a heat number 2 up next. So don't go away just yet. One last request, if you haven't done it already, go on out there and click the like button, because I'm going to take these likes and tally them up and bring them over to the coaches here and the representative teams. Let them know what you think about doing these live streams in the future. Listen, this is Tom Rucci. It's been my pleasure to bring you the 2023 Minnesota Regional Championships, co-hosted by Riptide Swimming and Atlantis Swim Foundation, down here in Austin, Minnesota at the Austin Municipal Pool all weekend. Hopefully we'll see you here next time. And until then, enjoy the last heat of the 800-meter freestyle for the boys. This one is almost over, and then heat number 2 will be up next. There it is. Dane Zhao with black line in lane number 4 will finish first with a time of 9:24.05. Dane Dow will finish first for black line in lane number 4 with a time of 9:24.05. Finishing second is Will Durfee in lane number 5 for Riptide with a 9:37.19. Third is Gabe Lenson with Riptide in lane number 3 with a time of 9:40.43. All right, folks, that means this is it. This is our final heat and final official event of the 2023 Minnesota Regional Championships. This is event 136 boys 13 and over, 800-meter freestyle, and this is heat number 2. Hey, in lane number 1 is William Benish with black line. Lane number 2 is Andrew Deeb with Riptide. Lane number 3 is Lucas Jens with black line. Lane number 4, Mason Dietering, black line. Lane number 5, Louis Decatori with black line. Lane number 6, Max Moser with Edina. Lane number 7 is Ben Jones with black line. And in lane number 8 is Josh Peters with Edina. Let's go through the roster here of heat number 2 again and give you their ages and times. Previous times, that is. Lane number 1, William Benish with Black Line, is a 13-year-old. His previous time is 11:27.81. Andrew Deeb in lane number 2 is a 13-year-old with Riptide. He has a 10:55.38 coming into this. Lane number 3, Lucas Jens is 15 years old. He swims for Black Line. Has a previous 10:52.64. Mason Dietering in lane number 4 is 16 years old. He swims for Black Line and has a 10:23.31. In lane number 5, Louis Decatori with Black Line is 15 years old. His previous time is 10:30.34. In lane number 6, Max Moser for Edina is 13 years old, and his time previously is 10:52.74. Lane number 7, Ben Jones is 14 years old, swims for Black Line, and his previous time is 11:15.29. Finally, in lane number 8 is Josh Peters. He's 13 years old, swims for Edina, and has a short course time previously here with a 12:14.25, and that's in the yardage. So that's the short course. So let's go back to the action here and see what's going on. Lane number 5, that's Louis Decatori with Black Line. He is leading the pack by about a body and a half length, maybe 2 now at this point, as he makes the turn. All right, go ahead and watch and listen to the sounds of the pool here for this last heat. Once again, this is Tom Rucci. I've been your live stream host for the entire weekend and for the entire 2023 Minnesota Regional Championships, hosted by Riptide Swimming and Atlanta Swim Federation, down here in Austin, Minnesota, at the Austin Municipal Pool. little bit there that we were starting to lose our internet. Just came back. There's
How many people you still watch it?
huh?
How many people are still watching?
According to this, there's 11.
Wow.
One of them's me, though.
Tom, you did a great job, honestly. You did a fabulous job. Thank you for doing that.
I believe taking the bell there was lane number 1, William Benish with black line. Then again, I take that back. I didn't see the official get up to ring it at the lane. Maybe it was Andrew Deeb, I think, who actually took that bell. That'd be lane number 2. Because Andrew is way out in advance here. Let me take a look. No, I was right the first time, I think. I don't know. All I saw was the bell, to be honest with you.
4 top orange. Those are the guys got.
So we're going to go with lanes 3 and 4 now.
4 or 5 top.
All right, lane number 4 is Mason Dietering with black line. Lane number 5 is Louis Decatori with black line. Those are the two that are on their last lap. Typically, the official will get up and ring the bell at the lane. So it kind of threw us off a little bit here. Let's watch as they come back for this photo finish. It's going to be lane number 4, I believe. It was actually lane number 5 who touched first. He had the long reach. That's Louis Decatori with black line. His time was 9:45.27. And his teammate right next to him in lane number 4 was Mason Dietering with black line. And he touched with a 9:45.28. Finishing third was lane number 3. Or was it lane number 8? It's lane number 8, Josh Peters. All right, folks, that's it for the official events here of the 2023 Minnesota Regional Championships. We want to thank you all for watching and have a great rest of your weekend, what little bit is left. Before we go, we're going to let you see the rest of the results here from the 800s. There they are. All right, folks, that's it for the official events of the 2023 Minnesota Regional Championships. Thanks so much, folks.